Welcome to another edition of XFeed. Trying to keep it around the 12 o'clock mark. We'll see how long we stick with it, but a couple of you guys have said that it is a good time for your lunch break. If you're here watching on the VOD, appreciate you guys. And if this is your first time tuning in, what's up? My name is Schiller. We talk about Web3, NFTs, crypto, all that good stuff, and try to give you a bit of a feel for the market and just kind of, sharing different perspectives and opinions. Elliot trades right off the bat. Highest monthly close of all time. We get an April Fool's dip, and you all flip bearish. Get your heads checked. This is the start of the psycho bull run. I got hit up today from my father, and he's like, listen, everything's dipping. You got to get that money into the bank right now. And, from a perspective standpoint, that's it's my new favorite word, and it's really fun talking with him and kind of learning about the perspectives and thoughts with that. And he's a little bit skittish on fully committing to the market per se. But with that said, I think that once you have this fundamental understanding of, hey, all the world's designed these currencies, we're kind of living our lives off of them. We have, endless different assets and things that we could buy. We've seen friends potentially or family members that bought something way back in the day that was a stock, that was a house, that was something, and ended up going massively up in value. And that is potentially not something that we get to experience. We get to experience it in a different way where, for the majority of people that bought a house several years ago, they're up massively. And for some of us here that are watching, when we got into NFTs and or crypto, there's a chance that we found or got into something that had a hell of a lot of success. And as the world kind of changes to a more digital realm, we get more into that. And I think that you're kind of crazy to get shaken out here right now, as obviously we've been pretty much up only for the past several months. So a little bit of a correction feels like kind of whatever, right? The next 60 days will determine if we are pre-rich or unemployed. True. As much as we like to be bullish about things, we don't know where the market's going. It's absolutely a case where it could end up coming right back and fall flat. However, from every historical attribute that we can look at, from the charts, from everything regarding the halvening specifically, it seems that we are injected with an up-only serum. Justin Sam Bankman-Fried speaks out after being sentenced to 25 years in prison. I never thought that what I was doing was illegal. That's a tough look. Apparently it was. Reimagining the ENS experience. If you don't know what ENS name or ENS is, basically if you try to send a transfer across crypto wallets, normally you have to copy and paste a long string of numbers, but in this case you are able to register a name and you could just do, Blue Jays .eth per se, and some people end up paying a lot of money for certain ones of like a Pokemon name like Pikachu.eth, and it's kind of their online persona. Like I'm the Schiller, people have different names that they can get for that, and it's supposed to be easier. But yesterday they made this announcement, and I am kind of confused because it's saying introducing ENS points. Woohoo! Excited, claim yours now, and what the hell is this about? Kid Arcade, what is going? Oh, shoot. Can you just remind me? I meant to edit my chat box to make the text more visible. How's that? Yo, is that a little bit better? We'll try to make the chats more visible. Anyway, so yeah, I guess ENS is doing these points. Each ENS name has been awarded points based on our proprietary algorithm, which calculates key metrics like registration data, account activity, and more. So is this points insinuating that there's something else coming? I thought that ENS already did a token. I don't really understand that, but everybody's going down into the token realm. I was thinking of Pokken, like Pokemon. The Pac-Man Airdrop 2 claim is here, but if you missed it, you are feeling FOMO. Don't worry. Here's how you can participate in Airdrop 3. The third airdrop is mainly a social game. Okay. So what is Pac-Moon? Basically, it is a meme coin that was made on Blast. By their bio, Blast community coin. And it's basically just that. It was one of the first ones that were out there. It's gotten a lot of attention. And the reason why I'm bringing it up now is our timelines are just gonna get screwed. I have no faith that we're gonna have like systems that make sense, that aren't just a complete shilling fest. And I think the more that it's normalized, the more we're not gonna care And I think that people are just kind of doing whatever, and it's eh, right? Now, an example of something that has gotten some people stirred up a little bit. Obviously, there was the Doodles founder who went and made that meme coin, and they got a lot of ridicule. People saying, Doodles is garbage now. Why is the founder making a meme coin? It's over for them, etc., etc. And I guess there was a couple of artists within the space that have gone out and partaken in the meme coin cycle. They talk about it, and then all of a sudden there's like this barrier that we have of, hey, we view this person in this kind of specific realm, and if they get into something that either can affect the brand or we think is just like immoral from somebody who's in the position that they are, it's a big deal. So everybody's super judgmental, right? Like why do you think all these dramas and show, The Bachelor, everybody loves the drama, and we see that across the timeline. And so I guess a bunch of artists now are getting a bunch of flack for participating within the meme coin mania. But Sugartown and Mochaverse launching a token. They are giving out 90 public sale spots for Aura holders. Interesting to see what collections end up having these different opportunities. But at the end of the day, everybody's trying to sell you something. So is it a good thing or a bad thing for these partnerships? It kind of depends. Now, Ink on BTC, again, an insane team that did something that they didn't necessarily have to do. Obviously, they had the legacy sats, which there's a whole realm about that, but I guess it was like on paper keys way back in the day when it was created, and the collection has had a lot of success, and the artist for that is Joey Dodd. And if you don't know, somebody went and did some of the history on Joey, so I thought I'd go through some of the points super quickly here. And he worked for Hasbro. There we go. You remember? Remember back in the day, everything that was a part of Hasbro. I feel like most of my childhood was built by that. So let's see what we have here. So toys, cards and packaging, movies, other concept and toys, video games, loot crates, future concepts, personal thoughts, etc. First of all, I would like to say that it was difficult finding background information on Joey at Hasbro because they do not give credit to the designers. Joey gave me some small hints where I could start to look. The Spider-Man was designed by Joey. So back in the day, there's a chance you might have had this toy, and it was created by the guy who made Ink on BTC. And here is some more of the Spider-Man universe characters we all love. This was one of the biggest lineups Joey's participated in. What can one say? These are probably the toys many of us played with as kids. Look at the detail on these. And this one almost looks familiar. I feel like I might have actually had that one. These Spider-Man figures had different traits, which is kind of a parallel to what we see with Ink on BTC. This throws up many questions, as we will see later. Look at these two cool traits called Web Strike and Web Blast. Is it just the way the arms are? Is there something on them? I can't really tell. Of course, every superhero needs a villain to fight against. Here we also have a super awesome Rhino figure. This takes me back to my childhood when playing with figures was the best thing after school. Also, note the details on that. Now, there's a lot more to this. If you are wanting to check out the thread, it's X6 Paths, or if you're wanting to go specifically see the artist himself, it's at Joey Dodd. And again, really cool to see Ink on PTC and all the people that minted have a kind of, I guess, like a huge success in that realm. Kid Arcade, love these toys. We need the digital counterpart, 100%. Well, I don't know if it's in here, but apparently Vivi with their Omi token, it's finally on an exchange. It's MXC, I think, and they started KYCing. So a bunch of people are like friggin' losing their mind over that. I need to move this over. I've been taking out my X-Men toys from the 90s and appreciating them recently. Yeah, it's cool to see what you used to own and the things that you loved. The others are coming. This kind of looks like the Pixelmon. I forget what the hell his name is. Kevin. This looks like Pixelmon Kevin, but My Pet Hooligan having a little bit of a teaser for something to come. I found these when moving out today, and it is the Punks comics. I actually have one of them right behind me as well. And it was wild to see the journey that Pixel Vault has had as a whole. And we're going to get into one of the big announcements that they had a while ago and kind of go back over it because it's And it's not really talked about anymore, and I'm not really sure why. So, combat and rewards with a little bit of glory. Star Atlas introducing Surge, and these guys ended up, I think, paying for a slot. Or maybe it wasn't paid, but they did a slot on Paul Barron Network show, and I love watching Paul Barron. But they had the CEO Michael Wagner on yesterday. If you guys are wanting to see that, but it's a new faction versus faction versus faction game mode. Crush your enemies, score points, and bring glory to your faction. The only reference point that I have for how this game could kind of look is Guild Wars 2. They had a world versus world versus world, and it was a big, massive open landscape, and you basically had to walk across an entire map to run into people, and then you could die, and then you would just do it again. But it was fun. And so hopefully they don't have too much of a walking realm within here, but I think that there's a chance this could be really, really cool, especially due to the fact that it sounds like rewards are going to be a part of it. Star Atlas is something I feel has a household name across the entirety of Web3. A lot of people maybe a little bit judgmental over certain things or saying, hey, this isn't what we thought, or it's taken more time, etc., etc. But I think that all of these games and experiences get a completely clean slate when these experiences are live and people can try it out for the first time. It's just kind of judgmental from the sake of standing there and looking at it. But either way, it almost looks like Star Wars Battlefront, so that should be interesting. I collect on Vivi, but stay away from the token? Fair enough. It's so difficult to navigate the crypto market this year. So many split, sizable ecosystems and extreme fragmentation. There will be many 20 to 100x plays in any top multi-billion-dollar ecosystem. Better to pick a few and learn them and their communities inside out, in my opinion. Of course, that's what I do. I know a few things extraordinarily well. Those things I just kind of talk about broadly because it's fun here for the show. But think about that. There's 20 to 100x plays. And people are not looking in the market. They don't want to do the research. They're, content with whatever it is. And I got lucky, right? Like if I found something else that I had success in, right? That wasn't anything to do with the blockchain space, would I be as open to coming on, exploring the ecosystems the way that I am? I don't know. And so, it takes that initial spark, and a lot of us, it was the early days of NBA Top Shot, but 20 to 100x plays, eh? All right, today was the largest long liquidation event since the 19th of March. Okay, so you can see a whole bunch of days here where there's massive spikes of people going long, and then a few ones here of people going short, but this is, this also, March 19th was a week ago, but it's just highlighting that part of the reason, not all of it, part of the reason was because people were out there and leveraging. Did any of you leverage trade, by the way? I don't do that. I know some of you guys are probably fiends at it. I've spent 2,555 days in crypto, 7 years. Watched thousands of projects launch, moon, fail, implode, and rug. Sorry, just had to answer text real quick. My 10 hard learnings. The market is irrational. Don't get too hung up on making it make sense. Token unlock schedules are important to see the upcoming downward pressure. Again, a lot of the tokens from before. This is, okay, so this might be kind of like a spicy take, but everybody's saying the older coins are just garbage, they're awful, yada, 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 right? And obviously, over time, these vesting schedules unlock, and so more tokens are out there in the wild, and for newer tokens, it's still slower and slower. However, one could argue that the supply already being out there would be a good thing, or is it not? That is the question. For every big unicorn success, there will be many next you can potentially find. Example, Doge, Shib, Bonk, Floki, Whiff. A lot of people, again, damn it, I missed the Doge run. Damn it, I missed the Shib run. Damn it, I missed the Bonk run. Okay, there's still more opportunities. You need Sushi Swap to 1-inch to Pancake Swap. Don't disregard projects and ecosystem because they sound or look silly. Ordinals, NFTs, meme coins, etc. are all multi-billion-dollar ecosystems for a reason. The dollar growth is an indicator to look deeper no matter how silly it looks on the outside. 99.9% of projects follow macro Bitcoin trend. Understand where BTC is at and position accordingly. Everything pretty much follows BTC. And this is a thing, right? Like, totally agree with the take. It is all about BTC. When that goes up, we see the entire market goes up. Is it something where Bitcoin outperforms everything else? Maybe for a little bit, but there's a lot of capital within Bitcoin and not a lot in some of the other coins. So there's definitely going to be a hell of a lot of movement. Aries Swan, drink your... Dude, I was going to go to the gym before this, but I was like, you know what? We got to get on here at 12 o'clock. So we got to do that later. But hell yeah, bro. No matter how hyped a new project is, 9 out of 10 fizzle away into old news within 3 to 6 months. If you want verification of that, go check the live feed. See what we talked about over the past 3-4 months here. High conviction plays, all in on single projects, are risky due to rugs, hacks, projects being compromised. Diversification is key, keeps you sane and safe. Focusing on major sectors guarantees gains in a bull run. Currently, AI, memes, L2s, gaming, DeFi. That's literally every sector. You know what I mean? That's literally everything. What the hell is going on? Yo, Fire Badger, good to see you. Hell yeah, truly. Survival is key. It's not about taking a high risk early. It's about having dollar to deploy over a 1 to 2 year bull period where there'll be a handful of no-brainer opportunities. It's okay. So this is an interesting take, right? If we're looking specifically at this one of them saying, like not having money to deploy on the side is a good thing. While at the same time, we have like half the timeline yelling, if you're sidelined, if you're not all in the market, what in the halibut are you doing? We're going fishing, you know what I mean, baby? We got our license and we're ready to hook. Discord and Telegram is key to early alpha. Find a group that's friendly and provide and receive value. If you have more to add, please do. Pretty good thread. I like it. We highlighted Jolly Bean Games the other day when we had Boomer on, but if you guys are interested, again, just a quick little reminder, we do have the full stream of not only the entire day where he had like 8 different guests and it was like a 9-hour stream, but I uploaded the individual session with Boomer. I still need to upload the one from a couple of the others because we had the week following, and there's still 2 ones at the end of that haven't been uploaded. However, with that said, if you're wanting to get into Star Defenders, it's got an Ordinals mint. Okay. Like a game. Vibing. Schiller vs. Discord is alpha. True. Harry Swan's in there all the time, and that man is the definition of alpha because he's big influence. Introducing MemeNet, the meme network. MemeNet is the blockchain that offers a safe, low-cost, degen-friendly way to build on-chain. We are incubating MemeNet inside of Memeland, leveraging the last decade of our experience building social and crypto products. We plan to decentralize the chain progressively over time. MainNet will issue a redacted and use meme token as its native gas token. Be aware that scammers may send fake meme coin tokens. 5 key points: focus and fun, auto yield, hassle free, big features, small fees, trusted by millions, community ready. Memeland NFTs as nodes. Is that sort of part of this announcement? It's not a Ponzi, it's community. Over 900,000 on-chain wallets are holding meme token, and the greater meme coin ecosystem has over $69 billion in assets. MemeNet community is ready before it's launched, starting with 20,418 at Memeland NFTs. We target to increase the number of nodes to 69,420 before 2069. Our node operators will be active worldwide and incentivized to support the network with reliable daily rewards, resulting in trustless global coverage. Node operators can influence the future of MemeNet and have exclusive access to ecosystem and coin launches. Okay, so how do I put this in a way that makes sense? Do you know the price of Pudgy Penguins? Okay. Would you say that it's justified if there is a token launch coming? For Memeland, the captains, some of them 20, 50 ETH, whatever it is, super expensive. I'm not really super familiar with the ecosystem, but it's more than an ETH, right? All right. So if they've already gotten a token allocation and now they get to be nodes, would their price make sense? Oh, yeah, I think so. Okay, so for Mochaverse now, with knowing that there is a token coming for them, yo, is this an April Fools joke? No way. There's no way. There's no way. Yo, Yo, is that an April Fool's? Dude, they didn't even say April Fool's on that. Nah, there's no, I'm literally not going on the timeline tomorrow or on April Fool's again, if that's the case. Introduce, dude, there's no way you can say that. No utility, terrible tokenomics, you'll love it. Okay, nah, listen, we're spreading fake news. So I have no idea. 2069? I mean, maybe they're just saying stuff, but it could be like legitimate. And, you know, I mean, for example, like for Root Network, they decided that for their Prism sale, they would do it at like 6.9 root to start. Like, why? Oh, yeah, because it's funny. I didn't laugh. To be honest, I didn't laugh. But look at this. Alex Ovechkin, the legend, rocking a Subway sub and some flamin' hot Cheetos. God, absolutely love it. No joke here, Blast launched multiplier tasks for users farming the network. Okay, now not to spoil one of the tabs that I have a bit later, but somebody brought up the aspect of the inflation and I guess dilution of multipliers, and it's like 4,000x or something absolutely insane, and people are apparently having to hold their early bridged blast over like a 2-season thing to actually fully get it, or some other things. I don't know, there's just these weird things with blast that, you know, it's making me think of the people that were talking within the Futureverse ecosystem about Future Score, the dilution of that kind of aspect. And not that there is a massive amount of it, but, you know, the more things come out, the more people that get adopted, the more that those lines kind of get blurred, and everybody's just like, oh, okay, here's new participants, ecosystem's growing, the prize pool that you'd be subject to early on is starting to wane a little bit. How people react to that is going to be very, very interesting. Now, we've talked about Machi the other day, saying, yo, his 3 million blur loss, whatever it was, think of the status that it got him across the space. He's got the pre-sales. It's got the... What else has it got? I think just the pre-sale things. I don't know if Machi's done anything else, but Sans here saying, after Machi decided to ruin everyone's day, we decided we'd be launching Balls token to hopefully help some of you recover the funds you lost on the pre-sale. I don't understand why they would just like randomly say, hey, like after Machi, like do your own thing. You're an entire NFT project. Like this feels as something that would be like another big person in the space would say, but not a project. Just comes across really weird. Yo, Bosch, listen, this is great. We got the insights here. The multiplier doesn't dilute. It just means bigger numbers. Since everyone can do the multiplier, only losers are those that don't do it. All right. Listen, yo, he's coming in here and he's like, Schiller, shut up. And he's feeding me the left hook. All right, I got you. Listen, if there's anything else in Blast that we need to know about, let me know, because I need the insights. I just see what I see on my timeline. Every few days, Pixelmon is announcing a new Mon Protocol launch partner. And now a whole anime trailer. These guys need to slow down because they are making other teams look bad. Okay, so do you have any takes with this? Not really. I mean, I know a few people that have Pixelmon NFTs. I think that it's crazy how fast things are happening. It's nuts that how many of them are going into anime, but then you're like, hold on a second, Shill. There is a lot of anime in general around the world, and you're like, right, we are in an echo chamber. This is going to be bigger. Certain people are working faster. They can take that market share, and the narratives that we knew a few years ago are potentially about to be completely flipped on their head. Launch the token. That's my problem with this Mon launch. Oh, they haven't done it yet? That's crazy. I've invested in 50 plus rounds over the last few years. Seed rounds, angel rounds, strategic rounds, key opinion leader rounds, etc. It was such a foreign world to me when I was first getting into AMA. What's your one killer question for any team? That's a great question. Mine is usually along the lines of how are you going to get users, customers, attention, people to actually use the thing? Building it is 10% of the journey. Marketing is 90%. Sadly, perhaps. All right, so what you're saying is marketing is the most important thing? Okay, dude. Listen, we got to... Oh, maybe we got to start a marketing business if 90% of everything relies on that, because some of these people are brutal at it. What is the first step into this world? I think networking and building up a profile where people reach out to ask if you want to invest in things, that and having sufficient capital to be able to invest a minimum of 5 to 10K per project. So the question is, do you feel more safe getting into a token or an NFT collection, or would you feel more safe getting to be an investor in one of these projects, right? How long does it take? How much do you need to put into it? I think my only experience in this per se is I had somebody that reached out once and they're like, hey, can we get your emails? We can add you to like a list of opportunities and investments. And I was like, sure. And so I've gotten hit up on like different things and it's like, okay, like I see it, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to judge things enough. I've not been in that realm, right? But there's a lot of people that prefer doing that versus the other. Okay, so have you heard about the early days of the ETF? Play this super quickly here, but Anthony Scaramucci apparently was like the first person to ever actually invest in these Bitcoin ETFs.
The audience earlier, they all want to know, are you voting for Trump or Biden?
I'm kidding. That's not what we're trying to go for.
Kidding. All right. We're gonna get out of.
Look at this audience of like Fox News watchers.
Bro, these people are wild. People don't care anymore. They're just like, oh, let me talk shit to everybody.
All right, hold on. So we're gonna get this right out of the way.
Right,
you were the first investor in the BlackRock, what now became the ETF.
Yes.
Can you tell us that story?
So I'll take you back to, this would be early 22. I was in Abu Dhabi Finance Week, and it could have been November 21 late, but it was maybe early 22. I saw Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, in the lobby at the Four Seasons Hotel in Al Marion Island in the UAE in Abu Dhabi. And he came over to me and he said, Ant, he says, you like Bitcoin? And I said, yes, I do. I like it a lot. He goes, I think Bitcoin sucks, is basically what he said. And he said, however, I just made an investment in Circle, and I do like the blockchain, and I do like stable coins and the US dollar on the blockchain. And so that's the direction we're going to go in. And then I said to him, which you've heard me say to you and others, you got to do more homework, because as you just heard from Dan Tapiero, the more homework you do on this asset, it's a one-way ticket towards the asset. You're not going to do the homework on this, read the white paper, do a deep dive, listen to Cassie Wood, Michael Saylor, Anthony Pompliano, and say, no, I'm going to pass on the asset. Typically, people that are negative on the asset just haven't done the homework.
True.
Yeah, fine. Bitcoin sucks. Okay, Larry, great to see you. Bye-bye. And we both left. And then about a month or two later, Robbie Mitchnick, did he speak here yet or no?
Yeah, this morning.
Yeah, so Robbie came to see my partner and said that they were doing a lot of work with Larry, explaining to him the asset. They were going to open a Bitcoin trust, but the bureaucracy of BlackRock said that they couldn't do it unless they found an outside investor. And so my partner, Brett Messing, who I think you know, said, okay, we're in for $10 million. We'll wire the money tomorrow. And that ignited the process at BlackRock. And then they went to the committee and they said, okay, after talking to our outside counsel, we'll put in for the ETF. And I don't know if you spoke about this before, but there's a administrative law in the United States that basically says that an administrator cannot act in an arbitrary and capricious way in the administration of the law. So when the November announcement that the ETF, the futures ETF, was approved, I made a mistake. I went on television and said, okay, well, the cash ETF is going to get approved. Bitcoin's going to $100,000, because I read that law and I assumed that people would take that law seriously. But Mr. Gensler had pressure on him politically, and so he did everything he could to delay that process. And then, of course, the court interpreted the law accurately, and he lost that case. But I just want to say one last thing about this, and this is a little contrarian for this group. I think Gary Gensler did us all a favor. And you'll say, well, why is that? Well, he flushed out by accident through that negative political process a lot of bad actors in the space. So whether it was FTX, Three Arrows, you pick the foil in the space that was either running a fraud or running a over leveraged operation. He knocked all those guys out of there. Just imagine if he had just followed the administrative process, you would have had the $100,000 Bitcoin. You could still be living in a FTX world where that thing would have blown up and been an even bigger problem for the industry had they been in existence post ETF.
That's kind of crazy. Now you know the backstory. The OK Bears floor has officially dipped below day one prices. I think I was the only one that was like on here in the stream being like, I don't know why these guys are launching another OK Dogs collection in partnership with Magic Eden. From my understanding, they've built like a Fortnite map, and I questioned it once, and some guy was like, it's got like 1 million players or something. I'm like, the main account's not talking about it. I don't see it anywhere else. NFTs, guys, it's brutal out there, but goes back again to the point that I was trying to make forever ago about there's a huge difference between art NFTs, ones that create some sort of yield, and we're starting to figure out which ones end up having value and which ones are kind of just there. In Dubai, a SIM card with a unique phone number was sold for AED 3.2 million, otherwise $871,000 in an auction. And you don't think these people are gonna want crypto? It's crazy, brother. What happened to yield? Okay, we got more crashes. The fear is on the timeline. Everybody's getting spooked. Things are going to zero. How do you feel that you bought something that's on its way to zero? That's the actual mindset a lot of people have within the space. But this is over a time span. This is a new paradigm. Things are different. Not everything's gonna work, but crypto valleys, holy sheesh, went all the way up to 15 ETH at a point, and we literally went over a thread on this stream, and it might have been 2 of people just shilling the shit out of it. And when it's all over your timeline, hit that sell button, baby, because damn, it went down, and let's do a follow-up. Bam, it's down another friggin' dollar. Holy shit. But it could come back. You never know. All right. Questions for the Illuvium founder. What do we got here? What is the main hurdle to mass adoption of blockchain technology? The biggest challenge we face is user experience. It's getting much better, but purchasing crypto and participating in things like staking, lending, borrowing, and governance is still daunting. This is why we see such crazy inflows to meme coins. There are no complicated white papers. The big ones are on centralized exchanges, and the narratives are straightforward, and the technical barriers are low. True. People want something simple. I posted yesterday, right? And it was about Silo, and I was simply asking, like, hey, do these things happen in 2024? And someone responded saying, already looks too complicated. Imagine having like several use cases for a token that would, in theory, add extra value, and then you say that it's too complicated. That doesn't even make any sense. You're just getting the token, and then you have different things you can do with it. From decentralized applications to non-fungible tokens and decentralized finance, we have many killer apps for crypto, but none have really taken off yet. What will stick? I'm obviously biased, but I truly believe gaming will get a true mainstream adoption. It's easy for people to understand, and the introduction of non-custodial wallet solutions like IMX Passport means players can create an account in a few clicks and start playing games they normally would. Except these games will give users true ownership of their assets, and this will lead to further exploration into NFT marketplaces, DeFi applications, and the broader crypto ecosystems. What has been the toughest challenge you faced in our industry so far? The hardest thing for me is adjusting to the gradual pace of mainstream adoption. My impatience often kicks in when I observe the slow acceptance of what appears to be clear and beneficial innovation, and it's frustrating when others fail to see the same potential. I agree. I find I have it like a really tough time when I have like conversations with people, and there's kind of like this barrier of like, yeah, nah, this is just like stupid. It's like, okay, like, that's fine if you think that, but like, just realize how this is kind of changing, and people hate change. Like, people hate change. So you have to be understanding. Also, the expectation for constant transparency in our field creates a double-edged sword. While it establishes trust and engages our community and investors, the continuous need to provide detailed updates can be taxing. Transparency is crucial because failing to communicate adequately can lead lost investor confidence, which is detriment to any project. Okay, so this is interesting. This is okay. This might have been bad for him because now he literally can't say that, oh, you're not an investor, because he basically said that anybody that's gotten into the project is an investor from that. Am I crazy? That might come back to haunt him. What do you think will be the biggest trend in blockchain for the next 12 months? I'm torn between gaming and DeFi applications built on layer 2s. In the last cycle, much of the hindrance to crypto was high gas fees and slow transaction times. Yield farming was the biggest trend in the last bull market and most attractive due to the high APYs. What's the most interesting place you've ever visited and why? Hey, I went to Kentucky in South America with his best friend. A little bit of personal thing right at the end there. Honestly, having a position player pitch will get no hit is one of the most pathetic things possible to achieve in baseball. If you missed it yesterday, the Toronto Blue Jays got absolutely thumped by the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, and they got beat so bad that they had Isaiah Kenner-Falefel pitch. Well, the opposing pitcher pitched a no-hitter. It was not a good experience, but wow, MLB is back. Do you remember these Ape Fest shoes from Hong Kong? People went out, they bought them. I don't know if these were available online. I think they were. We saw some crazy lines of people going out trying to get them in the various stores around the world. But I guess this guy's sharing them. Still think these are actually pretty cool and physical merch. Does it come back? Is it cool? Is it exciting? Okay, so there was this big bash that I don't know why it came back up on my feed here, but it was about Pixel Vault and all these other things. It was just a massive FUD storm back in early 2023. But then the Dorian Banks here got tagged, and he was the guy that was in charge of like Gen Zero's House of Kiba. If you remember those on the early days, it performed well immediately, and then things just went to the wayside because the main Kiba dude left. I don't really get it. But what House of Kiba was doing was they were building this 3D mansion metaverse experience specifically for gutter cat gangs with 3D models. And I didn't even realize this was said, but apparently House of Kiba was left unpaid by gutter cat gang. So obviously that experience didn't end up ever going live from my understanding, but if gutter cat gang never paid, wow. Definitely have to take another little bit of a side-eye glance at what was going on with gutter cat gangs in a previous life. He didn't know it at the time, but this tweet would become obsolete because Mongrel got a 1,000 ETH offer from Adam Weitzman and took it. Do you guys remember when the Dookie Dash key was all about? Made a 999 ETH bid on the golden key. And then somebody put a 1,000 ETH offer. That's insane to think about how much money that is now comparatively at the bottom when it was sold. I have no idea what's going on with Moonbirds, but 300 mythic eggs have been burned. 1,700 are left. You have one more day. I don't know why they have it where this isn't just like an open thing. If you have an egg, should this not just be open forever? Kind of like the mutant serums. I don't know. I feel like this will be interesting if people end up forgetting that. BTC happening in 20 days. Altcoins will explode. In 2020, ADA made a 130x. Link, 40x. Thanks to the happening. I spent 2 weeks scanning 500 alts and analyzing previous happenings. Here's 10 coins that will make 50 to 100x. So the first few on this list, you'll probably be aware of, and that's all we'll talk about and kind of give thoughts on. Upcoming happening will completely overturn the crypto market and inject a huge amount of liquidity into it. Everyone can profit from this event as promising tokens are expected to grow by 100 times. Hurry up and stock up on tokens to avoid FOMO. I woke up today and I got told I had to sell everything. Well, now we got this guy saying that we're about to moon 100x. What do we believe? Happening is an event where miners begin receiving 50% fewer rewards. That means that there will be less than 100 Bitcoin in the market unless supply leads to growth. Against the backdrop of this event, the market will simply explode, and it's urgent to stock up on tokens. I've analyzed over 500 tokens. These 10 they think are going to do well. Meme coins. Okay. Oh, wait. The meme coin itself that we just talked about, as Fire Badger pointed out, might have been an April Fool's joke about what they're doing. Maybe not. They haven't said. I don't know. Let me know. If you guys see anything, tag me in it. Which has launched its own personal launchpad platform. By staking meme coins, you can buy allocations of other projects, making a big bet on the token. Blur. Interesting. Native token of a unique trading platform and aggregated platform for NFTs. Yup. Do you want me to mute? Sure. Never mind. The project frequently partners with top players, introducing its token similar to what it did with Blast L2. And then Pepe token. It thinks that Pepe can do... what is it? What was the exact thing? 50 to 100x. So if we go and we look at Pepe, right? If we look at Pepe, it is at a 3 billion market cap. So it's saying that Pepe is going to a trillion market cap? Nah. No, hold on a minute. I'm bad with math. 3 billion to get to a trillion. Nah, it would, I mean, that, yeah, so it's thinking that it's going to go to like 50 billion. I don't know. What do we have here that's 50 billion currently? So 1 trillion, 50 billion would be more than the US dollar stablecoin. That's crazy. Ansem's cat coin, Hobies, is taken off. The influencer coins are back. Holy. I don't know. I mean, listen, are those ones going to do a 50 to 100x? Maybe. I mean, if we're looking specifically at the ones mentioned within here, meme coin, I feel like it's relatively small. The meme stuff in general, okay, maybe. Blur, I'm not convinced with Blur purely from the fact of there's all these other NFT marketplaces. These collections are actively trying to make Blur not be able to do anything on them, right? Like the new contracts and NFTs coming out are specifically able to block Blur. So I don't know what to think about that. But then Pepe, again, could get massive. It's just a meme coin. Don't expect anything else with it. Now, are NFTs officially dead? Did people mark the bottom, saying 8th NFTs 2021 to 2024? It's over. It's Jover. It's gone. It's awful. All right. So we spoke about Pixel Vault earlier, and if you remember at the original VCon, I was there. I was super stoked. G-Funk comes on stage, and they do this big presentation where on the Jumbotrons, they have Dana White come out and say that they've started a relationship with Pixel Vault. And then, not that long after, there's that huge debacle where Dana White gets into a fight with his wife, and it goes viral. People saying that he's like women abused and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, okay, these guys are like arguing. It might be blowing out of proportion just a little bit here. But then we hadn't heard anything from this. And from my understanding, I thought that they were going to end up doing all these exposés on fighters and like kind of like a good way through like the comics and the brands and everything. And it never went anywhere. And I was like, damn. What's going on? But then obviously we have the UFC strike. So the UFC is still in the blockchain space, but curious if Pixel Vault is still doing anything with that. And if we see the market for NFTs pick back up again, if we see the what exactly that was from. Are people actually upset that some artists are trading meme coins? As we talked about earlier, yes, people are pissed. A sudden Bitcoin dip has seen leverage traders rack up more than 165 million in losses. That's a lot of cake, a lot of leverage, a lot of gambling. One of these is not like the other. Another new inscription collection, kind of a different vibe. You might vibe with it, you might not. We are Rune Whispers. Stands out as a tribute to runestones, marking a historical moment as the first 10K PFP collection dedicated to runestone holders. We will forever live on the timeline as a proud emblem for runestone holders to display, symbolizing their loyalty to the runestone ecosystem. Rune Whisperers transcend conventional notions of rarity. Just like the runestones themselves, each Rune Whisperer is a testament to uniqueness, with no one piece deemed rather rarer than another. All project founders looking to distribute to runestone holders consider Rune Whisperers as the community of runestone's most dedicated supporters. Okay? Another people being like, yo, come and buy my NFTs. Just saw that Azuki has some of the highest paying jobs available in Web3 right now, all paying $120,000 to $240,000. So if you're a lead writer, a visual designer, software engineer, or motion graphics designer, and you're wanting to work for Azuki and get paid the big dollar bills, there you go. Forgotten Runes, comics 1 to 3, and alt covers. We just looked at the Pixel Vault comic a few minutes ago, and here's Forgotten Runes. I think these are cool. Do we have a point where these get out to the stores, mass-produced way, get more traction? Are these the new Marvels? Is there going to be something that's kind of a collective Web3 born IP comic distributor? I think Pixel Vault was in lead to do that, but now we're seeing Forgotten Runes and other collections doing stuff. I know Lazy Lions launched a comic. I have no idea if they're still even doing anything. I know that they got new founders for that, but things are happening. Team Azuki needs your help. Come farm on arcade.land with your Azuki community. So what we talked about on the stream yesterday, we had Heavy Metal getting this airdrop from Arcade Land, and I guess Azuki is now a part of that as well. Raul Paul, on days like today, just remember that crypto is still being adopted at twice the speed of the internet and should reach something like 1 billion users by the end of 2025. Yo, we're being adopted at twice the speed of the internet, and they think they're going to have 1 billion users by the end of 2025. Okay, so there's your exit liquidity right there. Or let's gigabrain this. What if it's not exit liquidity? It's just the new paradigm. That'd be crazy. Down 70% from Mint and over 99% of its market off the top. Okay. Why is there always Moonbird FUD on my timeline? Why is there always Moonbird FUD on my timeline? That's crazy. Mistakes were made from an X account I controlled. Expanding list to 10? What? If most NFTs die, and you only had to choose only 5 from the class of 2021 that survive and thrive, who's on your list? So he's saying apes and mutants, pudgies, doodles, nouns, and V-friends. I mean, how many other collections are there out there from 2021 that still are around that have like a big following, right? Like I think genuinely there would probably be about like 15 collections from the thousands that came out way back in the day. 15. Gary V was right. Uniswap, apparently they're live now on Blast. That's kind of interesting. So if you need to do a little bit of a swap on Blast through Uniswap, there you go. So I have no idea if Bosch is still here, but this is where I originally got the point about the dilution or whatever. Trouble in Blast Paradise. Blast multipliers went live last night, which seemed cool at first, and then everyone realized there's 10 more to come, which would put points inflation at 4,096x multiple by the end of the season. Oh, you are here. Great. So do you disagree with this? Because it's kind of like everybody gets a pot, so it's not necessarily a dilution, because if you're a part of it, you just get it. Is that the notion with that? And as you're typing there, I'm going to go over to this. I don't understand why BYC holders get so surprised and triggered that people talk about Yuga so much. They had the largest seed raise in human history, and the flagship collection hit $450,000 last cycle. Of course, they're going to get talked about endlessly for multiple reasons, good or bad. And I agree. True. And that's also the one that had the crazy stuff that happened out of all of them. Correct. Everyone is still earning points that get multiplied. Okay. W. It's not dilution. Listen, go on the timeline, the perspectives, the things that are said. It's all different. You know what I mean? What? Everybody's still figuring this stuff out. You see somebody on the timeline and they're like, this is going to be the next 100x. This is going to be the next greatest thing ever. They could be right. They're completely full of shit. You have no idea. We see things on the first time. We don't have a backlog, right? Like you don't have a community note of like, hey, this is the track record of said individual. However, it would be interesting if you had a connection from a social profile to your crypto wallet, and then you could see what people have done good and bad, except that might be a little bit over the top, but we'll see. If you were earning points now at 4,000x, then it would be dilution. But since all the old points get the 4,000x, it isn't dilution. This is why I'm getting Blast Gold, not points. Gotcha. Yo, I think Bosch is a whale. Yeah, I also don't know if it's Bosch, Monos. I'm just gonna call you the Big B. You know what I mean? All right, guys, that's going to be it for this edition of XFeed. I appreciate you tuning in and hanging out today. We'll be back tomorrow as per usual. If you enjoyed the stream and you are wanting to see some of the other ones, again, just go over to the live tab on YouTube or scroll on my X profile and you can see some of the ones from the other day. Maybe skim through it, watch at 2x speed. And again, go and check some of the old streams earlier in this year. You'd be surprised at what we talked about that nobody says a freaking word about at all. Boshi, hell yeah. Not a whale, have about 500K. Not a whale, but have about 500K. That's crazy. Harry Swan, big influence. Have yourself a good one. Bosh, you as well. Fire Badger.